Good afternoon, my crafty friends. How are you? All right, so my name is Judy Menlove, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Markham, Ontario, Canada. So if you're on, please say hello, and if you're watching the replay, please say hi. So it's been, oh my goodness, I don't know, 3, maybe 4 weeks since I've been on. I've been sick with bad cold and cough, but anyways, I'm feeling much better. I do apologize for being absent like this, but you know, things happen. Okay, I'm just gonna see if I can get this to show up on my iPad, so just bear with me a minute. And we'll see. That seems to be going good there. Let's turn the volume down. All right. Okay, so what do I have for you guys today? Whoops, just banged my desk so the whole thing vibrates here. Sorry about that. All right, so I don't think I've talked about this before. Hey, Jean, thanks for joining me today. Good to be back, I tell you. Okay, so Stampin' Up! Has a new rewards program that is kicking in April 15th. So basically, before you had to place an order of $200. Yeah, $200 to get any type of reward. So they're changing that, and you only have to place an order of $25 before tax and shipping. Okay, so $25 before tax and shipping, and you get a 10% reward. Okay, so the 10% reward can be carried, or if there's something that there's something a little bit bigger that you want, you can save it. They will be kept in your account for up to 1 year. Okay, after that they'll disappear. So you want to make sure that you do use them. The only downside from this is that when you get your 10% reward on your first order, you can't use it. Okay. So it's kind of like, you know, you place an order, you get the reward, and it'll be there for your next order. Okay. So it just means the very first order, you can't use them because it won't show up until later. Okay. So anyway, I think that's very positive, $25, and you get a 10% reward, and they will accumulate, and you can keep them for up to a year. So like I said, if there's something that you want that's, you know, a little more pricey, you can kind of hang on to the rewards, or you can use them right away. Me, I'm going to use them right away because that's just what I'm like. Okay, so what else there? They will show up on your Stampin' Up! Online account on the dashboard. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, put something in the comments, and I will try and answer your questions for you. Okay, so again, that's April 15th. Yeah, and I can no longer input orders on your behalf, so you will have to make sure that you have your own account, okay? All right, so that's it for now. So today I'm going to showcase the Delightful Wishes bundle. So I'm going to turn the camera down and get going. I haven't done this for so long. I'm just kind of lost here. Okay, hang on. Let me turn the camera down. We'll start with that. Let me find it here. I think it's this button here. Yay! All right. Turn this down like that. Like that. Oh, I need to put a light on so we can get rid of all these shadows, eh? There, how's that? And we need to come up a little bit. I don't know. Oh, thing's crazy. Okay, I think that's good. All right, so this is the Delightful Wishes, a stamp set, the dies. There's paper, ribbon, and little bees. Okay, so that's on page 34, 35 of your January to April mini catalog. Okay. Excuse me. I do still have a bit of a cough, but not much. All right, so I put this thing together here to kind of show you. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. This is a stamp set. So you've got these little flowers, leaves. I'll show you how all this works. Wishing you were here, wishing you all the best, wishing you a happy birthday, wishing you lots of love, and wishing you well. Okay. And then you got all these dies. Like, look at all these things. So what you get, I will show you right here. So this is just a little pattern that cuts out. All right. Bring that a little closer so you can see. Like that. And then you have a background wishing and the other wishing, word wishing, so that you can put on top so you've got like a shadow. These will cut out these little flowers that you make here. Okay, I'll move this down a little bit closer maybe. There. So these will cut these out. I thought it would cut them all out at once, but it doesn't. It cuts them all into little pieces. So it's more of a one-on-one. This is the bigger flower, and that's the center. So you cut that, and then that little center, and it makes this flower. Okay. I did this because I was getting confused. Then you have this one, and that little guy, and that makes that flower. All right. And then we have this little tiny flower and the middle, and that makes it like that. Then you have these leaves. So you have one and that one, and so finish looks like that. And then you have smaller leaves, and the finish looks like that. This is just a cutout for sentiments. Okay. And then you've got this branch. All right. And then when you stamp, this is what you get. Okay. So anyways, that's how you put it all together. Now this one here, I had an awful time trying to figure out how to get it together. So if you look, just trying to find something here. Right here, it's kind of knobby, kind of wavy, okay? And this part over here is the same thing, it's kind of wavy. So if you take that wavy part and put it in this wavy part, that's the way it goes together. Okay. All right, so that's that. All right. This is the paper, beautiful paper. Oh, and we're into spring and we're tired of winter, so this is just nice. So these are all, what are the colors in this? Let me just see. We have Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. Okay, so I will show you these. So that's one. And some nice bright yellow checks on the other side, which is very springy. Don't you just love, I love this paper. That's on the other side. And then we have, well, more, the whole thing is flowers, obviously. And this has a bit of a, not a bit of, a blue background, Pool Party background. That's pretty too, with all the little buds. And then we have the larger flowers. And all these little dots are Pool Party. And some nice green. And then we have these ones. That's a nice design. And we've got these flowers. And I don't know, can you see that okay? There we go. We have a lot of shadow here, I think. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just waiting for it to show up on my iPad. Yeah, it looked fine. All right, so that is the Floral Delight paper. And then also with the set is the Floral and Gingham Vellum. This is beautiful. So this is vellum. All right, so obviously only one-sided. So this is very pretty. So that's one sheet. And then we have this one, which is also very pretty. So you can see through this because it's vellum. And then we just have a blue chuck. Okay. Very pretty. So that is also part of the suite. And then we have the yellow ribbon here. Okay, it's actually Daffodil Delight. All right, I have to put this away because if I don't put it away, I'll forget to use it. And I want to use it today on one of my cards. All right, I'll put that away. And what else? The little bees. Where are my little bees? My little bees. There's my little bees. All right. There you go. Can you see that? Maybe I should leave it in there. There we go. Hey, aren't they cute? They're just little tiny guys. Yeah, not very big. Okay. So the first card I'm going to do, I cased the catalog. Well, I tried to case the catalog. So it kind of looks like this. Okay. So what have we got here? I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, just basic white. And then I cut a piece of the vellum, this vellum. Hey Sue, how are you? Thanks for joining me. This is also 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. And I have this piece here, which measures 2 by 4 1/2. And I'm going to put that right there. So as you know, when you put glue or tape runner on vellum, quite often you can see it underneath. So because I know that piece is going to go there, excuse me, you know I need my mat. I'm actually going to use Stamp and Seal Plus. And I'm just going to kind of put some in the middle here, where I know, or at least where I hope I know, the that piece of brown is going to go. Now, if you put this on and you find it's too short on one little piece or sticks out on one little piece, you can just trim it off. Okay? All right. And then I just kind of looked where there was a flower. It seemed to be sticking there. So there's a flower here. So I'm just going to stick just a little bit of tape like that. So wherever there's a kind of a flower, I'm just going to kind of put a little bit of tape there. Hardly anything is I'm putting there. So, okay, and then there's one on the corner here. I can do that. As long as some of it sticks down. Okay, this is just right on the very edge. Oops. Fold that over. There we go. And I need something just over on the side. Put a little piece there. And maybe right there where that little flower is. Pull that back. There we go. See, so now you can't see it. Well, you can see it a little bit here, but this is going to cover that, so it doesn't matter. All right, so that is good enough. Again, it's not glued all the way down, but it's good enough. Maybe let's put one little piece right there. Right there. I think it was just one strip. I didn't even get the one strip. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's that piece done. And then we're going to adhere this on. But before I do that, I want to put some ribbon. See, I almost forgot about the ribbon. So I'm just going to cut a piece, maybe like that. And I'm just going to, it's just going to be plain. I'm just going to figure out kind of where I want it. Maybe like right there. And I'm just going to put a piece of the tape runner here. Oh, hang on a minute. My stuff fell over and I've got the heater on and I don't want it to burn. So I have to move that. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, it's very cold in the basement, so I have the heater on, and that vellum paper fell over right on top of the heater, so I thought I better move that before the place burns down. Okay, and then we're just going to wrap it around. Nothing exciting. Pretty simple, right? Just like that. There we go. Okay, so now I have my mat because I have all this extra tape on here, and if I put it on here, it'll stick. So this way it doesn't stick to my mat. All right, and then we're just going to put this piece there. And I'm going to go back and use my glue because I actually prefer the glue. But sometimes it calls for the tape runner. Okay, and we're just going to kind of put that there like that. Does that look straight, guys? Yeah, good enough. Okay. All right. I have got a whole bunch of little stuff in here. Let's see what we got. I tried to get ahead of the game here. Okay. So I have a flower and some leaves and some of these little flowers that I already stamped. So, and cut out. And 2 centers and a couple of leaves. Oh, 3 leaves. Okay. So remember I said I couldn't figure out how this went. So I had to look for the little, there he is there. It's right there. See that one? Okay. And then that will fit on there. See, just perfect. Okay. So I need some glue. Oh, don't want a lot though. I don't want to seep out everywhere. Okay. Just move that to one side. Where's that little piece again? There he is. Okay. So I just kind of line him up. And I like the glue because you can still move it a little bit. You have a couple seconds to move it around a bit. There we go. Okay, so that's done. And then we're going to put this, I don't know what this is called, the center. I know it has a name, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. So we're just going to stick that in there like that. I don't think there's any particular way that goes. So anyway, so that's one flower. And then we'll do this one. And this one kind of, I don't know, this one kind of reminds me of a spider or something. I don't know. Weird. Just me, I know. Okay. So we'll glue this one on. And you know what? Sometimes you need your tweezers. So I'm just going to grab my tweezers here to hold it. A little bit of glue. No, it looks good. Okay, and this comes down like this. Okay, so that kind of lines up there. There we go. Pull that down a little bit. That's why it's nice to have a couple of seconds with the glue to manipulate it. And then we have this little center. Hey Brenda, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Okay, and then we're going to put this little guy here. All right, so those 2 flowers are done. And let's move that out of the way. So I was just going to show you how I stamped the flower. Okay, so what I did originally, I stamped it in a darker color. I'm using the Lemon Lolly, and it was just too light. So I just stamped it in a darker color so I could figure out how to cut it. All right, and that took me, actually took me quite a while to figure that out. So you'll have to play with it. There's no, I don't think I can really show you how to do it. It's just trial and error type of thing. All right, so this one here has got all the little squigglies, so I stamped that in the Daffodil Delight, like that. And then this is a solid one, and I stamped it in the Lemon Lolly. You can use whatever color you want. And also, just because the paper is all yellows doesn't mean you have to use yellow. Now, even this took me a while to figure out, so let me see if I can remember. This piece, I believe, oh, went over here, I think. You know what? You just kind of do the best you can. That's what I've decided. It's too hard. I don't want to spend a lot of time. So I just do the best I can do. If it doesn't work, so be it. Do you think that's not bad? It's not great, but not bad. Anyways, like I said, I had to play with it quite a bit to get them to line up. And then there is this die here that will cut it all out. Okay. So here are my flower, and you can see that they're not cut out perfect, nor are they stamped perfect. But you know what? They're good enough. They don't, I'm not a perfectionist. I try to be, but it never happens. So anyways, those are my flowers. And then I just stamped the leaves in Old Olive and cut them out with the die. All right. So what do we have first? We have this strip. This is just a strip that I saved from the brown piece that I cut. Okay. So let me see now. We're going to pop. Oh, first I have to. Where's my sentiment? I have a sentiment. Oh, here. I've already stamped this. You a happy birthday. That's the one I used. And I'm just going to adhere this a little bit like that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue along the very top of this, but not too much, just a little bit. There we go. And just put it up, maybe up a little higher, because I already kind of slopped the glue there. There, that looks pretty straight, I think. Actually, it looks kind of crooked, doesn't it? Or maybe it's just my eyes. Okay, that's good. All right, so then we're going to pop that up on top of the ribbon here. So I need to find my dimensionals. This just seems, no, it's fine. It just seems to be a little wide. So I actually think I'm just going to trim this with my scissors just a little bit. Or you know what? It might be because this is lopsided. Maybe that's what it is. There. That's better. Okay. Move that up a little bit. And we'll put one there and one there. You know me, I like to use lots of dimensionals. Then we'll pull the backs off. Okay, and we're going to put this on top of the ribbon here. So like that. Okay. Next, we have some flowers. So we're going to put one flower right underneath this part here, like that. And then we have another flower. Yeah, over here, kind of like that. Okay, he can go there. This one is just going to be glued right here. So I'm just going to put some glue here. And I need a leaf, so I should probably do the leaf at the same time. Let's put a bit of glue here. And now I'll just put that kind of there like that. There we go. Okay, so now we've got this big flower here, and he's also popped up, so we'll put a couple of dimensionals on him. Or her, whatever. And I forgot to put the ribbon on. Ugh. Let me see if I can still do this. I might not be able to. I probably can't actually, but you know what? I'm going to try. This is the advantage. The disadvantage to using so many dimensionals. Come on. There we go. All right. So I want a little bit of tape here. Yeah, this is really, you know, sometimes things just get screwed up, right? Let's just put some here like that. Okay. And then we're just gonna take this like that. So I just did it in 3. Looks kind of not even. There we go. All right. And then I think this might be a little bit too long. Let's cut it a little bit shorter here. We're just going to do it in 3s like that. And where's my tape? There we go. Just going to kind of put it on the tape like that. Kinda. Nope. Okay, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. You know what? I think I'm just going to actually just stick it on this. I'm trying to get it long enough as well. You know what? Ooh, I'm just going to stick that right there. See, I'm showing you what happens when you forget to do something. Okay. Just going to kind of put it there, up a little bit higher. There we go, like that. And then I'm going to put a dimensional on it so it will stay, because it doesn't want to seem to stay. Fold that back over, like that. And put that right there. Nope, too high. Down lower. How's that? That's good enough. All right, pull the back off of that, and then let's stick all these back down. There, look at that. See, now you'd never know that I screwed it all up. Okay, let me get my ribbon scissors and just trim this a little bit. That one looks okay. All right. Okay, now I can put these guys back on. Okay, so I've already put the dimensionals on. So we'll just kind of put him here. Like that. And there's a leaf here. And I'm just going to put a small dimensional on him. Where's my minis? You never have the minis when you want them, right? Come on. There we go. Okay. A mini dimensional here. And we'll pull the back off. And he's just going to go up here like that. There we go. And then this flower over here Need a dimensional for him. See, this is what I mean about when you don't use enough dimensionals. See how that sagged there? There we go. And I might just put a mini one there just to make sure it doesn't sag again. Okay, oh, and we'll maybe put that there like that. And we need a leaf, a mini dimensional on the leaf. All right, and we'll put it over here like that. Yeah, like that. It's fine. Okay, now I want to put a little dimensional. I peel it back off. And I'm just gonna get my take a pick tool. There we go. I'll just stick that under there. There. Okay. All right. What else do I have to do? All right, the wishing. I have to do the wishing. Okay. So I've already done half of it. I've done the shadow. Okay, and I did it on, I put the adhesive sheet on it. So I was just going to show you how to do that in case you've never done it before and you're not sure. So these are my adhesive sheets. All right, adhesive sheets, the number is 152334. Okay, and they come, these are all 2 inches. So somewhere, oh, I use that. Oh, that was silly of me. You know what? I'm just going to stick it on the back of this and you'll never know. Okay, so because it's 2 inches, I've cut this to 2 inches. All right. And then I'm just going to cut this here. And I'm going to pull this off. Well, actually, I'm going to cut this off like this. Down there. There we go. And then you're going to take a pick tool, or if you have nails, you can try and pull that apart. I find my take a pick tool works better sometimes. I see, if I wasn't on camera, I'd already have this apart. All right, let's see. Come on. Of course, it's going to be difficult because that's what it does, right? It's almost there. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to bend that back a little bit, like that. Okay, you're not going to see this, so I'm just going to cover this here. And then you just kind of pull that back. And that goes on like that, okay? And then you take your die, of which I just had a second ago. Here he is. All right, and then you're just going to cut him out. So I'm just going to go over to my die cutting machine and cut him out. So bear with me a second. And I'm going to run it through twice because I want to make sure, because you're dealing with more than one piece of cardstock, you've got the extra adhesive on there. So I'm just going to run it through and then back again to make sure that it actually cut. And then you can see that it did. So we're just going to pull that out. And you may need your take a pick tool to push these out. You know what? I didn't want to cut this in white. I wanted it in green. Do you guys do this at home by yourselves too, or is it just me that sometimes I just continually screw it up? Okay, get rid of that. Maybe we'll save him for another day. All right, here's my green piece of paper. Okay, So just in case you didn't understand the way the adhesive sheets work, I can show you again. All right. So we're just gonna cut this piece. Hey Rose, how are you? Doesn't matter if you're late, you can watch the replay or you can just take it from here. Excuse me. I just find it easier to actually just cut this. All right, so now we have to peel it again. That should be fun, right? Okay. There we go. That was a little bit easier. Oh no, I had it. There we go. Okay, and then just stick it on, fold that part back, and just put it on, and pull it along like that. All right, now let's make sure we do this in the right color this time. Okay. And again, I'm going to cut it through twice. You may not have to, but I just like to make sure that it's actually cut all the way through. Because if you take it out and it hasn't cut all the way through and you try to take it off, then it's just not good. Okay, so there we go. Now we have it in the right color and everything. All right, you gotta punch all this out. Need it to come out. Here we go. Okay, so this has to come out. Didn't come out. Might have come out when I pulled it off, but all right, where's my little piece? Now, I think I said this once before when I did something. There are, the dots are here somewhere. Where are they? I don't even know where they are. Anyways, I lose them all the time. I don't waste my time looking for them. And then you have to take the little backing off it and try and stick it on. To me, it's just not worth it. So what I do is I just take a piece, not a piece, yeah, the marker. I just take the marker and dot that. Just pull that off. Okay, and here's my thing here. And then just going to put this on. Oh, just line it up as best you can. It's a little bit malleable, so you can kind of move it around a little bit. And you want to kind of do one letter at a time, because sometimes this will stretch a little bit when you pull it off. Oh, there we go. That looks pretty good. And then you just want to give it a good press here and make sure it sticks. And then I've just got a old olive marker, and I am just going to go like that and like that for the eye, and it's done. Rather than try and do the other part, it's just too nuts. So, all right, and then we're just going to stick this on here. Okay, so I have to peel the back off of this, because remember I said I put the adhesive on here as well. At least I think I did. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll just pull that off like that. And kind of put him there like that. There we go. Wishing you a happy birthday. Let me cut this off. I don't need this extra piece here. Okay, so, and I have some bees, so I'm going to add some bees on. I'm going to add 3 because, you know, it should be an odd number and I don't want to do 5. And I'm just going to put a little dab of glue here. I tried the glue dot and I didn't like it as well, so I'm just going to put a dab of glue here. I'll put one there and one down here. All right. And then I'm going to take the putty end of my Take a Pick tool. And where did I put my bees? Oh, here. And pick my bees up. Okay. I need to turn that a little bit. Get the putty to come out. There we go. And I'll just put that right there. And one right here. And one more right here like that. There we go. I'll just press them down to hold them in place. Okay, so there we go. You do it all the time, you taught yourself. Thank you. I'm glad it's not just me. Okay, so this one, I did it on a white piece of cardstock. So I can do it on white again, or I can do it on the Lemon Lolly. What do you guys think? There's a Lemon Lolly, or there's the Daffodil Delight. Tell me what you think. Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, or white? Okay, there's the Daffodil Delight. There's the Lemon Lolly. Okay, and there's the white. Any comments? Anything? Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, white. Can't really see that well, can you? Lemon Lolly. All right, you guys aren't getting back to me, so I'll just guesstimate then. So, Lemon Rose likes the lemon. All right, okay, we'll do the Lemon Lolly. 2 Lemon Lolly, 1 Daffodil Delight, 3 Lemon Lolly. Okay, Lemon Lolly's the winner. All right, so we'll just put glue all over here. Lemon Lolly for the win. Okay. Pretty, pretty. All right, so there's the white and there's the Lemon Lolly. Yeah, the yellow actually looks better. I like the yellow better. All right, so that's that. I've got one more if you guys want to hang around and wait, or if you got to go, you can go. This one will be a little bit quicker. I've got it all basically cut and ready to roll. Okay, so I've cut this piece of white with these are the textured notes dies. These are beautiful little things. Look at, see, they're all textured. They're all rectangle dies and they're all textured. So these are part of the online exclusives. So make sure when you're looking online that you check the online exclusives, because there's all kinds of really nice stuff in there. And what I do when I go in, I just hit all products, and then the newer stuff all comes up first. And that's where a lot of the online exclusives are right now. So, okay, I'm looking for my stamp pad, my stamp thing here. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is happy birthday. So I need a block. Oh, I put that on the wrong way. Oh, geez. Some days just don't work that well. I'm just going to use a happy birthday. So I'm just going to take a piece of Post-it note. And I'm going to cover the UA. So in other words, it says wishing you a And I'm going to stamp this in Petunia Pop. Because I just wanted to say happy birthday at the bottom. So we're going to ink that up. And then before you do it, you want to get rid of this. And then we're just going to put happy birthday at the bottom. There we go. Okay, just like that. Actually, I can leave this open because that's going to be the next one I'm going to use too. Okay. All right, so we're going to take this piece here, which is this. Now, someone told me if you're not sure how to line this up, go by the picture. All right, so let me put this on a block. And so you can see it's going to go like this. All right, so I'm going to do this in Petunia Pop. And maybe like that. Hopefully that'll be fairly straight when I do it. All right, that's Petunia Pop. And then I'm using fresh freesia for the other flower. And put that there and put it on a block. Okay. And we'll ink that up. And then I have to figure out, so this little V here goes at the top, so I need to turn this around. And then you're going to kind of line this up here. You know, I hope I didn't do this upside down. No. Okay, so the V goes like that. There we go, we're getting there. So you line that up and you just do it as best you can. This is a little dotted, so you know what, spotty. I think I'm going to do it again. Yeah, look at me. Oh, I'm going to do this again. Yeah, like I'm going to get it in the same friggin' spot, right? All right, we're going to try anyways. Yeah, I don't really like this, so hang on. I'm going to show you what I have to do sometimes. So because my fresh freesia is all bubbly, I just kind of take my spoon and push this ink in. Okay, sometimes they're too inky. I may have added some ink to it and it got too much. So, and then I just take a Kleenex and wipe it off and reuse it, because all the ink comes off it, so I'm not going to use a spoon for every different color anyways. All right, now let me just, I just want to have a look at this just to see. There, see how most of the bubbles are gone now? Okay, so let's go back. I had another piece of paper here somewhere. Hopefully I still have it. Yep. See, I knew I would screw it up. Oh, and I have to do the happy birthday again too. Okay. But it's going to go at the bottom. So, all right. So this is Petunia Pop. And it goes this way. All right. So put that there like that. This one's also a bit bubbly, but it'll do. There we go. Okay. Oh, I have to do the birthday thing. Where is my birthday one now? There we go. I need another piece of tape. And we'll cover up UA. And we'll ink that up. Pull that off. And stamp the happy birthday. There we go. See, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Put that over there. Put that over there. All right, let's try the fresh freesia again. Hopefully this will be better this time. Still kind of bubbly, but I think it's a bit better. Okay, so this goes up here. And you just kind of line this up. Can you guys see here what I'm doing? Okay, you might be able to see now, but I can't. Okay, so just kind of line it up as best you can. All right. Okay, still bubbly, but I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Okay, because you guys don't want to be here all day either, right? Okay, what's next? Next we have, oh, I need another piece here. This little stem, and I'm going to need these things too. So this little stem here, and these leaves. Okay. All right, so we're going to ink the stem up in pecan pie. Yeah, I just realized there was something I forgot. Oops. There we go. Something I forgot on the other card that I need to show you. Okay. So this one, you line up again. Okay, so it kind of goes in here and in there. So you put that on and you line it up as best you can. You stick your tongue to the left side. Stick your tongue out, stick it to the left side, hold your breath, and then stamp. Oh, not bad, eh? Okay. Then we have some Granny Apple Green. And these are leaves. So ink that up. And again, you just kind of line this up. This time, a little more ink here. This time you're going to kind of line it up a bit and stick your tongue to the right, because you don't want to, you don't want to have it the same as the branches, so you're going to stick your tongue the other side. Hold your breath and stamp. Not bad, not bad. I'm happy with that. Okay. Now we're just going to put the card together. We're almost done. Get this out of the way. Oh yeah, before I forget, I wanted to show you. Where's my little block here? Oh no, it's hold on a minute. Here it is. I forgot to put the centers in these flowers. So just to show you what I did, I took, because there's 3 on here and I only want 1, I took my pecan pie marker, again, not my blend, but my marker, and I just colored this with the marker, again, not a blend. These are water-based. And then you just kind of huff it and then stick it on like that. See? And then you do the next one. Huff it and stick it on. Okay, and one more. And stick it on. I found that that was a lot easier than trying to ink up, just one. Okay, so that's done. All right, so I'm using a white thick background here. I've got a piece of fresh freesia that I'm going to glue on. And this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, and then I've got a piece of petunia pop, and I run this through the die cutting machine. This is not an embossing folder. This is actually a die called Pattern of Friendship. I believe it is also, wouldn't it be easier to stamp the stem first? Yes, it might be. It doesn't, if you want to stamp the stem first, you're going to have the same issue trying to line it all up. So you just do whatever you're more comfortable with. Okay. Anyway, so that comes out like that, all pretty with all these little dotted lines. Not nice? All right, so I'm just going to glue this one on. Yes, Jean, it's just like two-step stamping. You know, do you stamp the inside first or do you stamp the outside first? You know, it just depends on whichever works for you. And you're right, the stem might be easier. I don't know. In any event, it's still got to all be lined up. So, all right, this takes some minute to get this to stay down. So, hang on a second. Okay, and then I have some white ribbon somewhere. Where's my white ribbon? Here we go. So this is a white ribbon, and again, this is on the online exclusives. Okay, and again, I don't know. I'm going to do the same thing here, since it worked so well for me last time. Okay, so I'm just going to put that across like that. And just go one way and then the other, like that. Yeah, that's about right. Like that. I don't like that. Hang on. Let's move it up a little bit. There we go. All right. Where's my fabric scissors? Here they are. Cut that like that. Cut that like that. No, I don't like that. Let's try again. Better. Okay, and I'm just going to pop this up. And dimensionals. Sorry guys, you know I never go this long. I think it's because I haven't done any for quite a while. Wanted to give you your money's worth. Yeah, I do like to make sure that my ribbon stays down, so now let's put one more in the middle there. Okay, let's pull all these off. Okay, I'll just kind of line that up. Looks good. All right, and then I've got the almost done Starburst sequins. Again, I think these are online exclusives as well. So we'll just take I put on this one, I put some white over here, but I don't really like it. So I think I'm just going to put the purple, just the purple on here. And I'll just put two here. Like that. Yeah, I like that better. All right, and that's that one. Clean all this mess up here. Messy, messy, messy. Let's throw it all over the floor, right? Okay, so we've got that one, and we've got that one. Okay, so those are your 2 cards using the Delightful Wishes stamp set and dies. See, pretty nice, eh? So if you don't have the, oh, and the good thing is this is being carried forward. So you've got lots of time to get one. And yeah, it's all, I believe the paper's being carried forward and the dies are being carried forward and the stamp set's being carried forward. So it's not like if you get it, it's not going to be discontinued in April or in May when the catalog is ends. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate you staying and hanging in there till the end. Very springy. Yes, it is, isn't it, eh? I hate winter. So anyways, yeah, so there you go. And this just shows you can still use these flowers and you don't have to do it in yellow. I wanted to do the one in yellow just to kind of show you because all the paper is yellow. But then I wanted to do one to show you that you can still do it in another color. So, okay, that's it, guys. Thanks very much for watching. And hopefully I'll be back next Wednesday and I will see you then. All right, take care. Have a great week and talk to you later. All right, bye-bye now.